We are underway. 8 laps of the Sepang International Circuit. Takahira's got off to a steady start, as has Chandra. But Takahira, I think, will be leading into this first corner. The drone shot shows a nice shot overhead. Galang Hendra's made a really strong start. In fact, it's Galang Hendra who has the lead.
Coming through beautifully from row 2. Rishi Takahira having another look around the outside as they go into turn 2 for the first time.
Well, Galang was able to really accelerate away. He's gone a bit wide there. He's able to cut back and cut through. Yes, he is. Galang Hendra holds on to P1. Well, that's an impressive start from Galang.
I think that's Izam up there as well. No, my mistake. But Pat coming through as well. He's about P6 at the moment, but Rishi Takahira into the lead ahead of Galang.
And Murabel Batoni is there in P3 as well. LFN are really putting an awful lot of effort in. Galang Hendra is there. It's great to see so many Indonesians competing at the top level. Takahira for Japan, though, is the man who's leading the way. And Chandra Hermawan on the Yamaha for Yamaha Racing Indonesia. He's in the mix as well. This is going to be a competitive season, Barry Russell.
Yeah, this group is really looking interesting now. I think Forrest Putra is at the back of this front group. I think that's how it's going to work out. Let's see. But on that very distinctive Cardinals machine.
The one we haven't seen is the championship leader, number 93, Fadila Arby.
I think
there he is.
Yeah,
just pokes in P5.
Behind Chandra and in front of Izam Iqmal, who started really well as well for Victor Racing.
A little bit spread out as we come to turn number 14, which leads us into the first of the long straights behind the grandstands. And it is the TY Antares of Rishi Takahira that leads the way. Galang Hendra just behind him, Murabel Vitoni, Chandra, and Fadil is there. And bike 124, Izam has made a move inside Chandra. If he can hold that line, he'll be in P4 as they come through at the end of the first lap.
And isn't it good to see Galang Hendra back at the front? And this time doing it for his own team, doing it his way, and it's working.
Well, he takes one line. He takes Takahira with him. Also going with them is Izam Iqmal.
Oh, and look at Izam. He took it as far to the limit as he could, but he made it work.
There was an intake of breath from my right-hand side from Barry Russell then. And Izam has made it work, and he's got himself into the lead under pressure. Chandra is also right on his coattails. And again, I'm looking to see Fadila. He's worked himself nicely into that little pack. No real problems for Fadila Arby in P5.
Rishi Takahira pushing hard there. His foot came off the peg and it looked very much as though he was trying to kick the rider inside him. But Murabel Vitoni now going through to have a look at the clean air in front.
There was a lot of dust kicked up at the last I
think it's
corner.
From the oil spill cleanup.
Yeah, okay. Just poking out there is 124 Izam Iqmal for Victor Racing Team, the young Malaysian. And Chandra, bike 88, lucky for some. And 157 leads the way, which is Murabel Vitoni, but leads the way only temporarily. They come up this turn 9 and into this long right-hander.
Yeah. Arby coming up to threaten as well now. Rishi Takahira, oh, that's Shanshin Jang gone down, and he's gone down heavily. Hopefully he's okay. Teammate and team owner of TY Antares. Different story at the front, where his other rider is leading.
And looking good. AP250s. You won't quite have the power to get away. Particularly for Fadila, who's got that rev cut due to the rules that they have to make this AP250 competitive.
Isn't it good when you get so many young riders through? I mean, look at this group. Rishi Takahira, Izam Iqmal, Murabel Vitoni. Riders that are coming into the class for the first time and leading.
Quarter of the way through the race, it will actually be Murabel Vitoni who leads the way, stepping up. Behind him is Rishi Takahira. Behind them, I'm just having a look at the Kawasaki's. More always interested to see how the Kawasaki's are doing. Not particularly brilliantly at the moment. Andy Fadley is down in P15. And I think he's the best of the Kawasaki's, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Aiki Ayoshi in P17. Up at the front though, oh, hitting the front for the very first time. The Astra Honda Racing Team, Fadila Arby Aditama, looking to make it 3 wins in a row. And this would be impressive in this company.
He's got Chandra and Takahira going with him, and Galanghendra. Paris Putra doing, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's the dust again, isn't it?
That's the dust. That's the dust, not the oil.
It's very discombobulating, but leading the way once again is Fadila Arby. And he's looking very, very tight, very clean. Arby goes through. Behind them, it's a good battle. Chandra 88 looks out. Murabil Vitoni 157. Galanghendra 56. Galang was leading the way at one stage. And bike 69, Aldiaz Axel also makes a run for the Yamaha BF Yamalube team.
Yeah, great work for Yamaha BF Yamalube, Galang's team. They've got to be pleased with this. He said on the grid with Daniel that they were improving the bike all the time. Takahira coming up to have another look at the race leader and championship leader, Fadila Arby.
I'm going to say Fadila just looks so composed, so neat, so tidy, so confident. Murabil Vitoni comes and has a little look, as does Galanghendra. It's Indonesia 1, 2, 3 as they come into turn 15 for the 3rd time. Pushed a little bit wide that time was Fadila Arby. And it'll be Chanda Herwaman who leads the way coming through at the end of lap number 3, but they're just looking out.
Galang sweeping out wide this time around. Fadila has got the line. Aldiaz just behind him now.
This lap takes us to the halfway point, and plenty have actually shown their abilities. Chandra, of course, we've seen. We had Takahira at the front for a long time, bike 144. Murabil Vitoni has consistently been in the top 3. Bike number 69. Aldiaz is also just beginning to make his presence felt as they once again go through the sand that is kicked up.
Yeah. We both got it right that time, Des. Oh, that was a nice move by Reach Takahira. Just going through on Murabil then.
First time we've seen Irfan Ardians here as well. You mentioned earlier on you thought he was a little bit low down in terms of qualification. Irfan, he's got himself up into the top 6 or 7, bike 16, just edging out.
Yeah, there he goes. He's getting inside. In fact, inside both of the BAF machines of Aldiaz and Galang.
But it is still Fadila Arby who is leading the way. Astra Honda, they do pick him. They do get good racers. And Fadila Arby looking for a 3rd straight win. Chandra is there. Irfan Ardiansa.
He's got Kritapat behind him. Kritapat really fancies this, but he's some way back at the moment.
Yeah, he's not really made a move at the moment, has he? The one who has done is Irfan Heikel for the SCK Honda Racing Team, bike 21. He's got himself into this leading group of 8, which is fine. There he is, just edging out, maybe down in P10 as Galanghendra goes wide, but this is almost underbonish how congested it is.
It is. I was just thinking the same thing. And Isam Iqbal hasn't given up either. He's there. Irfan Ardiansha has moved up.
Fadila leads the way at the halfway point.
Irfan Heikel coming up into contention as well. That's why I was looking for Irfan Ardianshah, because he's so aggressive.
Just so long as you're in the mix with 2 laps to go. What are we? 0.76 of a second between 1 and 7. Nizam just a little bit off the pace there. Galang Hendra also just beginning to drop down a little bit. Not massively.
Nizam dropping down as well.
Van Heikel is up into the top 10. But 1 through 12, just less than 2 seconds separating them. Chao Vietnam is being dropped just a little bit. Chao Vietnam was P2 in qualification, was lapping at 2:23.5. He's not really been able to make any real presence, the bike number 65.
No, his pace wasn't very good yesterday. It was off, but he did have a good qualification.
We just saw him at the edge of the second group of riders. Now the first 3 just beginning to edge away a little bit. Is Murabul Vitoni able to close the gap? Yep, the answer is yes. Irfan Ardianshah comes through into P2. Nizam Iqbal goes up the hill. It's not the perfect position to be.
He's determined to stay in touch with this leading group. They are trying to stretch a little bit. Dilla Arby. Oh, and down goes. Is that reach?
65, Chao Vietnam.
Oh.
Chao Vietnam, we thought he was strong. I suspect he was just pushing a little bit too hard to try to stay close. But Chao Vietnam is into the gravel and out of the points. Slides away, the sparks are flying.
Didn't take anyone with him, which was a good thing, but his race is done. Unfortunate for the Vietnamese rider, almost a Vietnamese veteran.
Yes, and we've seen his progress, but he's out of this race. Our focus is on Fadila Arby Aditama, who comes through in P1. 71 drops out. That's Yu Gangguan for Team One for All, the Chinese. He wasn't in any danger of making points. Nonetheless, he would like to get some completed races. But this is the battle that's really turning out to be number 1. Irfan Ardianshah struggling to keep up with the pace of the front 2.
I think finding his pace is Kritapat, number 39. There he is. Coming up onto the back of Irfan.
Fadila Arby regularly in the 224s, best lap of 224.073, last lap 224.373. Irfan Ardianshah just posted a 224.0.
That was a really fast move by Reach Takahira to go through to the front once again, and immediately put a gap between him and Arby. Let's see how long it takes him to close that down.
Takahira had a did not finish and 0 points in Buriram. So this performance at Sepang is a humongous leap forward. Is he able to hold on? Kritipat, as you say, has got himself up into P4 the tie, bike 39.
It's a really tight line then, so that seems to show that he's got a lot of control and maybe a little bit in hand there.
Murabul Vitoni tries to stay close to him. Irfan Ardianshah is there. Fadila Arby is the man chasing the TY Antares of the pole sitter Rich Takahira. Great shot coming down. Right then, what drag will you get? They've got 3 rehearsals. Oh, this is the first of 3 rehearsals. And Arby, well, he used the slipstream pretty well there to edge himself into P1. Took Irfan Ardianshah with him, and Galang Hendra nice and tight. Moves into P4.
Yeah, Takahira lost a lot of ground there in the slipstream on the previous straight.
Bike number 21 at the tail there. Irfan Heikel is just a little bit off the pace. So it's down to anyone from these 9 on the last 2 laps.
Diaz and Galang hanging on well in that lead group.
This is terrific. But Fadila Arby just looks a class apart. There's the lap improvement times of Izam Iqbal in his last 6 laps. 2:23.4, his fastest. 2:23.4, I think, is the fastest lap of the race.
Really close, looking at the lap times, as you would expect from looking what's happening on the track. Arby leading, Irfan looking aggressive just inside him.
Loving how this is building up. Irfan Ardiansa, bike 16, has a look on the inside. And you also mentioned that coming through is 39, Kritipat. And Murabul Vitoni not far away, and neither is the pole sitter Rich Takahira. Gosh, call this one, Barry Russell.
And Izam really giving it a go. Happy with his bike. Obviously happy with Victor Racing Team.
Kritapat's inside 2:24. Galang Hendra inside 2:24. Might be a little bit far behind Galang Hendra, bike 56. Although he's got himself ahead of Rich Takahira.
Yeah, Rich just fading a little bit in this last lap and a half.
Needs to get a little bit closer to the front men. TY Antares team looking on a little bit nervously. Their man is at the moment in P7, and Fadila Arby is looking to make it 3 wins out of 3. If he does it under this pressure, it'll be a terrific performance. Remember, he started in P7, Irfan Ardiansa inside of him, but it will be Fadila Arby as they come into the final lap, who has the lead, and the Astra Honda Racing racer is leading the way, Barry Russell.
Yeah, Kritipat takes the outside lane.
Blocked off.
Fadila sees it. He outsmarted Kritipat in Buriram as well.
Kritipat had to take evasive action, and he slammed on the brakes and lost 4 or 5 places.
I think this is racing at World Championship level that gives you those skills.
At the racing line as well, Irfan Ardiansa is the man who's staying closest. Murabul Vitoni also not too far away. Izam Iqbal, as you quite rightly said, bike 1:24, has moved himself into P2, but is anybody good enough to get past Fadila Arby?
Indeed. Are we going to see Victor Racing on the podium? Look at Izam Iqbal in number 2. He's giving chase to Arby now.
Izam Iqbal, Victor Racing takes a slightly tighter line, but Fadila Arby just looks so secure, so neat and so tidy. And he's got himself, what's that, 10-15 meter lead as Izam loses P2.
It's classy, isn't it?
Murabul Vitoni steps up.
He's had his wings clipped a little bit with that 200 RPM rev cut, but it doesn't show.
This is mighty impressive from Fadila Arby, but is it impressive enough to make it 3 wins out of 3 at the start of this season? Bike 93 is the man everybody is chasing, and I mean everybody. There are some good riders there. Murabul Vitoni 157, Irfan Ardiansa 16. Is that
Takahira coming back through?
Has he timed this perfectly, Takahira? Evasive action. Let's get out and let's get back in close to the grandstand.
Yeah, going wide is Arby. Everybody else fans out. Izam Iqbal on the inside.
Arby closes this. There is contact. Izam is one of those, but I tell you what, Fadila Arby is going to come through to make it 3 wins out of 3. Irfan Ardiansa takes a different line, but look at that. Fadila Arby Adidama for Astra Honda makes it 3 out of 3. Ahead of Irfan Izam P3. Rich Takahira comes through in 4. Irfan Heikel gets himself P5.